Hello fellow wine enthusiasts and welcome to the Blog Wine Cellar. We're going to speak about Brunello Di Montalcino today. If you've been in a wine shop and you've seen it on the shelf and we're wondering exactly what Brunello Di Montalcino is, today I'd like to go over a few things and a few characteristics of the wine and kind of teach everyone out there basically what Montalcino offers as far as wines. Now Brunello Di Montalcino to me is some of the greatest wine in all of the world. And to me, it's the greatest wine in all of Italy. Now, there's certain people that would say Barolo or Barbaresco or some of the wines from other regions in Italy might be just as good or better, but I think Brunello is by far the most consistently quality-driven and best wine in all of Italy. Now, Montalcino is a small medieval town that is located in the province of Siena inside of Tuscany. And as most people know, the people in the region of Tuscany, they grow Sangiovese as their main varietal. They do grow other grapes as well, but Sangiovese is the Tuscan grape. And actually in the DOCG of Montalcino, or Brunello di Montalcino, it is only permitted in Montalcino that to grow Sangiovese. And in Montalcino, they actually have their own special clone of Sangiovese, which they term Brunello, meaning the nice dark one. But the Brunello clone, or Sangiovese Grosso, produces grapes of great density and smaller fruit berries and more skin to juice ratio. And it actually produces wines of great depth and complexity. And very powerful wines as well. In Montalcino, they have, and the DOCG regulates how the wine is produced as well. As you know, the DOCG laws can be strict. They can be, they can be moderate. But the laws in Brunello do dictate that the wine must be aged in barrel for the minimum of 2 years and held back in bottle for the minimum of 4 months before release. So a lot of the times you'll walk into a wine shop and you'll see Brunello on the shelf, and you won't really see vintages that are really that current. Like if you were to walk in the place where I work, in my wine cellar, you would look on the shelf and see a lot of 01s. You'd see maybe some 03s at the latest, 03s. Maybe even some 99s, some older vintages. I can think of a couple even on the shelf right now, some 99s and 98s on the shelf. Brunello, some great vintages that we can find in our shops right now. Definitely 1997 was a fantastic vintage in Montalcino. 99, also a really good vintage. 01, and they're saying is some of the greatest Sangiovese Grosso that's ever been grown in Montalcino. And then the 03s are also of quality, but I think 01 and 99 and 97, probably some of the greatest vintages in the last little while that you might be able to find on the shelf. So that's a little bit about Brunello. There's also been a little bit of controversy that's gone on in Montalcino as of late. You might have heard reports in the paper or on certain wine websites about a scandal that's gone on in Montalcino. Actual vintners putting a little bit of Cabernet and Merlot in their blends, which is obviously, like I said, not allowed by law. So there's been a few wineries under investigation, and actually a few wineries that have had their Brunello di Montalcino actually held back from being shipped to the United States. So it's a very serious thing, and it's a very serious thing to the Italian officials. And so they're under a little bit of scrutiny as of late. But that doesn't take away from what these wines are. They're some of the greatest wines in the world. They're usually packed with dark cherry fruit. They have good, like a chocolate cocoa thing going on. They also have a good deal of Italian terroir. So you'll also notice some earthy notes. But very aromatically superior to most wines out there. And they're great complexity. So if you haven't tried a Brunello di Montalcino yet, or you're trying them still, congratulations, because it's some of the greatest wines in the world. And that's pretty much all I have to say about Brunello di Montalcino. So cheers to all you wine enthusiasts, and come on back and see some more videos from me.